Hello, everybody. It is Michael Whitehouse, the guy who knows a guy, with the Conference21 Weekly Round Table, Tuesday night for May 18th, 2021. Don't know why I do the date. Sounds more dramatic that way, I guess. So we have some great guests here. For those of you not familiar with the show, every week, twice a week at this point, we have between 1 and 3 of the Conference21 speakers who come to kick around a variety of topics, and we see what happens. So we encourage your comments down below to get involved and ask questions, share ideas, what have you. And of course, you should also come to Conference21, which is this Friday. 3 days away. $21. Yet we have 47 speakers, almost at 74 speakers, not there yet. 47 speakers, great networking opportunities because we use a platform called Slingshow. It is not like a Zoom conference. It will not give you Zoom fatigue. It gets you fired up like you're really there. But you only spend $21. Not $2,100 like you would for a lot of live conferences. So enough about me. Let's talk about our guests. We have 3 great guests today. 2. No, I'm the host. 2 guests. Can't count. Long day. All right. We have 2 great guests today, Angelus Perez and Kevin M. Coleman. So Angelus, we'll start with you. Tell us about yourself and what makes you awesome.
Well, before I say that, I want to thank you, Michael, for doing your great support and setting this up in the background and getting us all involved. Without it, it's impossible. So I want to give you kudos first before I say anything. Again, thank you for all of us. And my name is Angelus Perez. My company is Success Genie, and we're located in Milford, Connecticut. My wife and I co-founded it together about 15 years ago. And we are primarily in different areas, both mindset coaches. She's more on systems and I'm more on trainer. So we work together to help, give a holistic approach to all our business owners who come to us. And they're all successful business owners that come to us with an issue, a problem that we seem to be very good at solving. And that's what I do. Angelus Perez. You can also find me on YouTube at Angelus Perez. And I'm looking forward to this talk. Let's get going.
Very good.
That's what makes me awesome.
Yeah. So Kevin, tell us about yourself and what makes you awesome.
Wow. Can I even start? No, first of all, I want to thank you guys for just bringing me on board and sharing the stage with both of you. Both of you are illustrious, great speakers, trainers, and coaches. So I thank you for this opportunity just to be here today. And let me tell you a little bit about me. What I like doing is working with individuals, senior leadership, and providing them an experience that they may have never had in their lives. When I mean experience, I'm talking about taking individuals through a process. And this process is called coaching, where they come to me with a topic that they want to discuss, a problem that they want to solve, somewhere where they're stuck and they just can't get out. And what we do is I ask them questions that they would not ask themselves. I ask them clear, concise questions to get them to think into their situation. And once they think into their situation, I take them through a process known as the coaching process. And once I take them through that process, when we end our conversation, our coaching session, they have actionable items in order to solve the issue and the problems that they want to solve. But it doesn't end there. We also talk about prioritizing those issues and those problems based on their priority. And then it doesn't end there either, ladies and gentlemen. And then last but not least, as a coach, I'm there for you. I want to see you achieve that success in your life and continue the momentum so you can grow and prosper in what area, whether it's performance, whether it's management, whether it's leadership, wherever you want to go, I'm there for you and help you get there. And the reason why my name is Kevin M. Coleman of KMC Empowerment, and the empowerment comes from we leave coaching sessions. When my clients lead a session, they leave feeling empowered, not because of what I told them as a mentor, not because of what I told them as a colleague, not because of anything I told them, but because of how I challenged them to think, to grow, because they are fully resourced to do anything they want to do. Hello, my name is Kevin M. Coleman. I'm the founder and CEO of KMC Empowerment. At KMC Empowerment, we do 3 things. Number 1, we inspire individuals and groups through coaching, executive coaching, individual coaching, team coaching, group coaching, but we motivate individuals and groups through empowerment speaking, hence the name KMC Empowerment. And last but not least, I train leaders how to lead with excellence through leadership trainings, business building trainings, strategic management trainings. Also, I provide diversity, equity, inclusion trainings. All these various different trainings that I have been certified in order to provide for organizations. So I want to thank you for this time. I cannot wait to dive into this discussion on today, and thank you for having me.
That's what makes him awesome.
Yeah, I'm writing notes on how to explain what a coach is, because that's awesome. Like, wait, I do coaching, but it doesn't sound nearly that awesome. I do the same things, I just don't explain them as well, and possibly don't do them as well.
A lot of people don't know the difference between them and consultants and advisors.
Oh, yeah.
So he did a great job.
Can I get a high five, Angelus?
Yes.
Hey, look, let me tell you something. I know we're about to go on topic. I know we're about to get on topic. but he opened up the door. He shouldn't have opened the door. See,
go for it.
What I like to do, I just had a coaching client yesterday, as a matter of fact, that she's not my client yet because I'm still, and I want to tell you guys, I'm a pure coach. Now, you know what a pure coach is. I'm not giving you mentorship. Mm-hmm. I'm not giving you no therapy. I'm not giving you no consulting at that time. Now you can hire me as a consultant. That's one thing. Okay, don't get it twisted. However, but I'm there to coach you if you hire me as your coach. So I'm a pure coach where I'm gonna coach you through situations. So what I was talking to the client, the possible client that I was working with yesterday, we had a half an hour discovery meeting. In that discovery meeting, I was asking her questions about her goals, her objectives, and things like that, just to learn a little bit more about her. And I asked her one pivotal question. What does coaching mean to you? And when I asked her, what does coaching mean to you? Because, we always use open-ended questions. She went on and on and on, and she was describing a mentor. Mm-hmm. So what I did was, in order to not get her confused, I broke down what a therapist was. I broke down what a consultant is. I broke down what a trainer is, and I broke down what a mentor is. And I let her know before we ended that conversation, that's not a coach. And now she understands the grasp and the weight of what a coach is.
Nice.
And now we can enter into an agreement, but I'm still on taking on that. Sometimes we have to be a good fit on both sides. You know what I'm talking about. You don't take anybody. You got to make sure fit for you and your organization because you want to add value.
And actually, of course, the three of us know what a coach is, but Kevin, it'd be great if you could explain just a little bit about, how would you define what a coach is?
Okay. Well, what I like to look at as a coach is, if you don't mind, I can do the 5 different differences if you like.
I don't
mind. Go for it.
Would you like that? You guys, hey, audience, are you ready for it?
Now,
bring it on.
Hey, listen. When we go into trainers, now we all know we have organizations, we have people on this line right now for Conference 21. They have many trainers come into their organizations. They may be entrepreneurs where they bring trainers in for their staff and their colleagues. And that trainer may come in for an hour, half hour, maybe 2 hours, half day, full day seminar. And that trainer is great. They give you some great nuggets, golden nuggets that you can use for your organization. But by a show of hands, even us coaches on this phone, how many of us actually apply those nuggets to our lives?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Look at it. Michael barely put his finger up. It's hesitant there. So what I'm getting at is that's not a coach. You're providing training for individuals.
Right.
Then you go on. Let's move on to a consultant. Now, same premise. A consultant you may bring in for specific reason to improve a process and performance or whatever you need to do. They may even come in with a packaged product for you to grow yourself. I'm going to give you one example real quick. Say you are in a contracting organization where you do contracts for the government. They may bring in a consultant that may give you some new contract practices, a program so you can make it happen more efficiently. Now that consultant may come in, provide training, they may do all the things necessary and give you this product that will help the efficiency of your organization in contracting. That's but guess what? It's up to you to use it. And you may not use it. You may pay them thousands upon thousands of dollars to come into your organization, provide you information, but guess what? You may use it one time and then it takes only one leader to say, I don't like that no more. Let's move on. That's not a coach. Now, let's go on to therapists. Now, we have all types of therapists. We have psychotherapists. We have various different therapists. And guess what? They school trained, have their master's degree, bachelor's degree, doctorate. They have all these different things that really gives them ability to prescribe medicine. They maybe have psychotherapy, different things that they do for you. And they look at your past. They look at your past to help you where you at currently to grow. However, that's not a coach.
No.
And then you look at someone that is a mentor. And I love mentors. I have plenty of mentors. I have a financial mentor. I have a career development mentor. I have an entrepreneurial mentor. I have several, and I mentor many people, as you can tell. However, a mentor is someone who gives you that information that helps you grow in what area you want to grow into. They may be in a certain position with that you want to reach. You want to attain that position. I mean, I mentor people that want to be a coach. They hired me to mentor them to be a coach. So I poured into them that information about coaching. I gave them as much information I could to help set them up for success. And that's what a great mentor will do. They'll set you up for success. But not only that, ladies and gentlemen, but they also will guide you and direct you and show you the way. But that's not a coach is. Now let's talk about what a coach is. A coach is someone who wants to see you achieve greatness in whatever area you want to get into. Not only do they want to see you get there, but they're going to help you along the way by asking you those questions. And I'm going to do this. Imagine my hand is a mirror. We're going to show you that mirror. You're going to be able to see yourself for who you are. Not to offend you, not to upset you, and sometimes it may. We want you to understand who you are and whose you are and where you want to grow to, because there's so much potential in that mirror.
That's right.
And by us showing you that potential, by asking you open-ended questions that you may not ask yourself, you won't ask yourself, because that's part of the growth process, by us asking you those questions and pulling out of you your greatness. And we hold you accountable to it. People don't fail to realize, many times we talk about coaching so often, and we fail to realize one of the most critical steps and parts about coaching is, not only do we take you through this process, and I'm not going to lay out the whole process, they know what it is, but I'm not going to tell you about the whole process. You may not have it, but nonetheless, but when you walk through that process, the most pivotal step of that process is accountability.
Hell yeah.
Accountability. Because we go through all the coaching process. We can take you through everything you need to know.
That's right.
And ask you those questions. Get you come up with priorities and assign things that you say you want to do. And you own it because you've been coached and it came from you. I didn't tell you as a mentor what to do. I didn't train you as someone and say you should do this and you do it whether you want to do it or not. I didn't come in as a consultant and provide you information. You say, well, I may do it, I may not. I didn't come in as a therapist and look at your past. I came in as a coach and got you to own what you say you want to do. And once you own what you say you want to do, you're accountable to it. And I hold you accountable to those things in a very friendly way. I know I'm coming across, that's KMC Empowerment, y'all. So, but I do come across in a very friendly way to let you know I'm there for you as your coach, as your confidant. I'm not your friend, I'm your coach. And I want to see you achieve those things. And I like to look at myself when I'm coaching individuals in groups. I'm almost like a cheerleader. I know you can't imagine it. I know you can't see me doing flips and back springs and all the rest. But I'm saying a coach of your mind. A cheerleader, I want to see you reach your highest potential. I want to see you improve your performance. I want to see you have that return on investment for your organization. I want to see you see those charts grow and make money for your organization. I want to see you bring in that $1 million you've been talking about, $10 million you were talking about. And we may start at 10 million, but through a coach, I'll be asking you those questions so you can think into your situation, so you can vision those things that you want to do, that 20 million, that 30 million. And I'll ask you questions so you can begin to think about how you're going to attain that in your life. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We all have it inside of us.
That's right.
We are fully resourced to know the things that we want to do, whatever you want to improve, and performance, whatever you want to do in your organization. So I wanted to tell you in a nutshell, and this I'm going to stop right here, ladies and gentlemen, because I've been running my mouth for a while. The difference between a mentor, which we talk about quite often, and a coach is this. A mentor pours into you information, pours into you guidance, pours into you those things that you want to do. But a coach pulls out your greatness.
That's right.
Love it.
Perfectly simple. Absolutely 100% accurate. I can't add to that. That's perfect.
That was great. Yeah, definitely. And that's what I love about this show is I have no idea which way it's going to go. To kind of bring people on and let them run with whatever greatness they bring with them, which Kevin's got quite a bit. So that was fantastic. And I'll probably need to reshare this with an explanation of we're going to explain what coaching is because I didn't know we were going to talk about that. People seem to tune in every week because otherwise you never know what you might miss.
Well, you made my job easier. That's that much less I have to explain. I can get on to the good stuff. Not saying that's not good. That's needed. I think I should put Kevin talking in front of some of my seminars when I do them. I said, before we start the seminar, listen to this guy.
Let me show you 10 minutes of an interview I was on back in May. They'll explain what's going on.
A lot of people don't understand the differences, and it's needed.
So Angelus, there's only one problem with doing that. Is then people be like, I think we hired the wrong guy. We want that guy from the video.
And it's happened. I've been in a company where I went in, human resource called me for a specific job. I told them I used to consult. They know me from the past. So it's kind of like it's evolution. I started off as a consultant, advisor / then went into a trainer, then went into a coach, then coach trainer, which is my title right now. And Kevin's right. There are times when I have to train and I don't coach. And there are times when I have to coach and don't train. Same thing with consulting. So they called me in and they thought they're going to get the consulting from the past because I came to the company like 8 years earlier. So now I'm called back again and I'm saying, no, I do mostly coaching now. And I give my coaching package and everything. And I said, I'm more effective than the last time you saw me. They insisted they wanted consulting. They didn't understand it. So I said, well, it's in black and white in my proposal right there. It's like, this is what I'm giving. This is what a consultant gives. And this is what a coach gives. I mean, it's for the money. It's, it's almost the same, but you're getting more, bang for your buck. And they go, no, we really want just you to consult. Okay. I can go back to what I did long ago. It's really easy. I do it in my sleep. So I went in, I consulted. Then the gentleman who was a department head, so to speak, he also was a past client, but he was coached by me. And when he saw me leaving and talking to the human resource, he said, so did they hire you to do some coaching? They go, no, they hired me to do consulting work. And he said, what? What a waste of money. I'm like, no, it wasn't a waste of money. I gave him good consulting, but they don't need consulting. They need a coach. So he went in there after I left. I didn't know this. He told me this afterwards. He went in there and told them what they could have got from me, but they were going to go to another consultant to keep because they're used to. This is the procedure. They're used to doing this ritual, and why should they change it? But the gentleman was able to convince them, call Angelus back, and this is what we need them for. So then they called me back, and I did the coaching package. Of course, they loved it, and they said, wow, we wasted a lot of time and money by coming you in the first time as a consultant. We should have I didn't realize the difference between a consultant and a coach. And that's a lot of people don't understand. Kevin kind of alluded to that. We don't go to bed. Well, I can't speak for all coaches, but I know this is how I feel. I can't go to bed if I don't think you're succeeding. If you're doing the homework, I'm not going to do it for you. But if you're doing the homework, you're going to succeed. If you don't quit, because I won't let you, you're going to succeed. But I'm always like a parent, going to bed concerned. Do they have the right stuff? Are they going to do the homework? Are they not going to quit? Because I'm not going to be offended, and I'm not going to take it personally, and I'm not going to be responsible if they quit. That's their choice. And I've only had maybe a couple of them out of the 1,000 people I've had in the last 20 years, literally. But it bothers me when it's a simple process of just paying attention, doing the homework, and sticking to your guns and succeeding. It's like one step at a time. And I take it, it's like a parent, like I said, it's personal to me. Their success is my success.
That's it.
I sleep better when I wake up the next day. Like today, most of my clients that I've been coaching and training with my wife, back and forth, for the last 8 months, they're finally, all of them, and it took that long, sometimes 6 months to a year, depending on what they're doing, they're all now performing exceptionally well. And I feel like a proud parent, like, look at this, they're like children, they're getting there. They're going to get college very soon. I'm going to see them fly. And then I look forward to the newbies that are coming in. So yes, it's accountability, as Kevin said, but it's also, as you can see in Kevin's voice, it's a passion.
Passion.
I never heard a consultant or an advisor have that kind of passion, that kind of need to see the other one succeed at all costs. So that, I'm just adding that to it before I start my thing. But Kevin, thank you. I'm going to honestly, I'm going to send people to this video when it's up and running, just specifically to hear you say that, so I don't have to repeat myself.
Yep. Yeah, and this does stay out at facebook.com/conference21. So yes. You can find, I think it's facebook.com/conference21/live, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But wherever they put that button on Facebook, stays there. It stays on the YouTube channel.
There's something that you just said that I find on my end. Follow up on.
Yeah.
There's something that you said that really stood out to me, and I think people fail to realize this when you have that coach-coachee relationship. That we do assign homework.
Yeah.
Literally, we want you have work to do.
That's right.
And I like to tell many of my clients, all my clients, when they first come aboard, and I do this, and we have to realize not only is there a process, but we have a contract, we have an agreement, a lot of things we do to make sure it's simplified, so you can see the magnitude, the weight of what you're entering into. Not in a negative sense, but I want to let you know that this is real. Yeah. And these results that you want in your life, it's really up to you to get them. But I'm here for you to help you get those results. And when we go through the contractual process and we realize that it's not only do we go through that process, but within that contract that we have, that agreement, we have to call it contract, agreement that we have, we let you know that everything is confidential.
That's right.
We don't share it with anyone. I don't care who your supervisor is or if you have a direct report. I don't care. It will not be shared between you and I. It's a safe space so you can grow. And also, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
No, I was agreeing with you. They do need that because a lot of people come in and they're really concerned that this stuff is going to get out there, that they're not indestructible or they're not immortals. And sometimes, like just recently, I had some people in my private classes say, it took me about 2 months, but I finally got it. And I said, what's that? I'm not going to be judged here. I'm not going to be made fun of here. And I have everybody watching my back and supporting me. I said, of course. I would never expose you. When it's a group situation, it's 2 different types of coaching we do. One-on-one, I'm not going to laugh at you. I'm not going to judge you. And I'm not going to hold you down for anything, but I will hold you accountable. In a group session, I make sure everybody that's in that group are already coached. Now they're going to the next level. And when we bring in a newbie, I make it clear, please make this person feel welcome and let them know that you're there to support each other. Because think of it this way, it's a community, a tribe. When I'm not there, they talk amongst themselves. They practice on each other. They do the homework together. And then that's even more, when Kim and I had my wife, found that concept, that idea of, hey, why don't we put them in a group and make sure that they get together after they're finished with us. It not only makes our job easier, but it extends our power base, our ability to be effective and efficient with them. We don't have to work as hard to get the message across to them, because in the before we sometimes have to repeat it, or show them how to do it this way and that way until they get it. But then we show them once, they go off with the group, and they might go 2, 3, 4, 5 times amongst themselves, and they come back. I got it. I'm like, why didn't I think about this decades back? This, so much easier. But it's all about making them feel they found home, and they're safe, and this is their tribe. And don't be ashamed of whatever. There's nothing you can say that somebody here hasn't already experienced, if not worse.
Yes.
And that's how we try to inoculate our new people, our new clients into the system. And Kevin made it very clear that you're going to get homework, you're going to do the work, and we tell them up front, you're accountable. We're going to hold you accountable. And once it's all said and done, we're going to test you. Because what good is homework if we can't see the results from it?
Yes,
and we're going to make sure we test you with us. So if you mess up, you don't have to be embarrassed. You test in the group. So if you mess up, there's nothing to be embarrassed. And when we're sure you got it perfectly sound, you got it right, all the T's are crossed, I's are dotted, then we tell you go out into the real world with your real potential clients and/or customers, and now practice with them. And by the time they leave us, they're confident, their self-esteem is much higher than when they entered, and they're competent. And that's what a coach is supposed to do. No, I don't know. My consulting and advisory jobs in the past never got to that level.
Yes.
And that's why I like this, because I see the results, I see the rewards. I've seen doing training, consulting, and being an advisor, half the people not listening to me, or giving up the program after they paid me, which is like, what's the purpose? So, and that brings me to where I come from as a coach. I started out in the scientific arena, academia. First job out of college, I studied engineering and Divine Institute of Technology in Phoenix, Arizona State University, biochemistry, was into astronomy, the physics. There's math out there that I didn't know existed. And once I went through this and got my first job, it was in the research manufacturing it was state of the art back then, but it's like old technology now, the substrates that make the computers and your phones and everything work. So we were creating new ones and new alloys and using different types of metals. And some of them are very toxic. It was a very toxic environment. I had the bunny suit on. I was in the laboratory, and it was really what I dreamt of since I was a child. And then when I went through it, I started to realize, well, I was more testing, and other people, other engineers, other technicians were actually doing the research. And I wanted to do the research more than doing the testing of the finished product. And at some point, I got to test, and I said, I don't feel like I'm giving my best to the society in just this one position I'm doing. I don't feel like I'm doing my full potential. So I left, not the job didn't do well, didn't treat me well. It's just I was unsatisfied with my performance. I wanted to do more. And I don't felt that if I stayed there, I wasn't going to give my very best. That's how I felt at the time. So by accident, I got into one industrial manufacturer to another, making information science, computer components, this and that. Then I got exposed to the corporate side, the sales side, marketing side, by accident. It's like I had this mentality that I needed to know more. I need to spread myself. Every one of my other technicians and engineering supervisors and colleagues, they would just be happy doing what they're doing and maybe go up the ladder in that area. But I wanted to know how the whole system worked: business, production, sales, marketing, and maintaining, repairing. I wanted to know it all. And because of that, I had a well-rounded education, real world education, not schooling, through the experience itself, pure experience. And I think I jumped back and forth. All of a sudden, I was in the corporate arena, nothing to do with science. And then I would go out and do all science work, but nothing to do with business. After 12 years of that, I decided I want to go freelance. So I started as a consultant. And the rest you kind of figured out. Now, here's the thing. The thing that's different with me is that since I have a background in science, and I still talk to my science friends and colleagues that are still doing this, I have a way, I don't know if it's a part of my passion, it's part of my gift, it's part of my curse, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. But I like to take the science I learned and apply it to the business savviness I've acquired through the years. So I would talk to, say, my friends on the weekend. I was away in Boston just for about 4 days last week, talking to my colleagues, and I haven't seen them for a while. And they're telling me what they do in the universities and what the research and this and the newest thing in quantum mechanics and all that. And while we're sitting there having dinner talking about it, I'm going, you know what? I can use that in my next business coaching training course or whatever. And they're looking at me like, how do you take this and apply it to what? How do you take quantum mechanics, physics? This has nothing to do with business. I go, what are you talking about? Who pays your check? I mean, who pays your salary? I mean, somebody's paying you to do that research, that work for a business purpose. Business controls this, supports this, manages this. Did you just think it was all science everywhere? So they're like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. So then they'll say something in their own minds. Trust me, they're brilliant. They talk like Einstein. It would bore you to death, but I'm used to it. But then my mind would turn and I would go, you know, that makes perfect sense. But if you apply it to neuroscience and epigenetics and how the typical salesman should approach a customer, it would benefit them by yada, 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 fill in the blanks. And they're like, okay, I don't understand that. And you just gave me a headache. I said, that's okay. You give me a headache. It's only fair I give it back. But I leaving, writing stuff down, saying, I'm going to try this in my next, class, my next seminar, my next whatever, my next client. And sure enough, they look back at me and they go, the clients go, that's a great idea. I never thought about that. Where does that come from? Neuroscience. Oh, you're a neuroscientist, or you practiced it in the past. I go, no, I have lots of friends that are practicing it currently. Oh, that's, physics and calculus and the quantum field. And they're like, and that makes perfect sense. I can use that to make more money in my business. But the business people get it. I don't know what it is, but the time is now. It's finally arrived where the science is actually contributing openly to a lot of my clients, where before in the past, it made no sense. It's like it was sacred. The sales department doesn't talk to the marketing department. The marketing department don't talk to the customer service department. The customer service doesn't talk to the production department, and so on and so forth. Never mind, two different fields. But now there's, my clients, when they come to me, you want to be better managers. You want to be better directors. You want to be better leaders of your companies. Well, you have to embrace the science of accountability, the business model, and communication, because I'm a communication specialist. And it requires you to think a certain way. And of course, when I start telling people what's wrong with my thinking, I said, I didn't say there was anything wrong with your thinking, but there is more efficient, productive ways to think, to communicate. And if you apply them to your work, you're going to see magnificent results. So I take then the science, example, that's my friends will tell me, well, Angelus, you know that your brain only works a certain way, and you have these many parts, and the brain is actually not in the skull. It's actually throughout the whole body. We've discovered neurons in different parts of the bodies and organs, like the heart and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I already know that. What's your point? Well, the point is, if you're not taking care of one part of the brain, then another part of the brain starts to atrophy or have to compensate if whatever part of your brain you're not using, and that causes an imbalance. And the imbalance can, come out like a disorder or disease. And I'm like, bing, I got it. So I started applying that. I know it doesn't seem obvious. It's counterintuitive, but I said, well, then if they have different parts of their brains, and different parts of the brains, they tell me, are doing different things. This side is doing the business. This side is doing the hobby. This side is doing the relationship. This one is doing the finances. This one's doing the family. This one's doing so on and so forth. This one's doing the spiritual side. This one's going to church. A different part of your body is actually it's there for a different part of your lifestyle, your life grid, as I call it. Then if I start applying the way neuroscience works, how they explain to me, this is a healthy body, healthy mind, and this is a healthy person. And then you take that away and you only use parts of it. This is when, neurosis is. This is where poor mindsets come in. This is where disorder comes in, imbalance, disease, and so on and so forth. So I apply it to business, especially with the workaholics. especially with the people who think that their business is everything. Or I'm going to make this business work, and then someday I can then go take a vacation and do well and take care of the family and all that. No, I show them, do this now, take care of the family now, take care of it, go on vacation now, and the business would be okay. And not only okay, it will take care of itself better than you if you were there. And results don't lie. Over and over, they start moving away from the business, get out of the business. Somehow the business tends to make more money without them, because it's a different mindset, a different part of their brain they're actually using. And they'll tell me, it's strange, Angelus, but when I do this in my life, I feel this. Sometimes I feel it in my heart. Sometimes I feel it in my stomach. Sometimes I feel it in my back. It's weird. Or other times I feel it in my rib cage. And other times I feel it in the back of my head. And at first I thought they were maybe imagining that. But when I talked to my friends who study this on a daily basis, they said, no, that's exactly what part of the body is being processed at the time when they're doing that kind of work. And I've been a martial artist I started being a martial artist at 16. And I finished, I think, professionally at 50. But I always noticed that a certain kind of warmth I would get from the base of my neck to my tail end, down my spinal column. And they said, that's the prana, that's the chi, that's the, and I thought, that's really nice at the time when I first heard it. But now my scientific friends, they're telling me, oh, yes, when martial artists are doing this, we study martial artists and we put electrodes and all that stuff. And they were able to measure the energy going down and warming up the spinal column. And I said, wow, that's amazing. What's the benefits of that? Well, people relax more. People tend to heal from disorders and diseases. They tend to be more creative when they go doing art or work or whatever. And I said right there, when I heard them say work. So then I started to apply that type of meditation to get them to focus on the energy in the back, like I was taught in martial arts, but I'm applying it to business now. And voila, all of a sudden, people are getting results. People who were on the verge of having strokes or heart attacks, some of them have, their blood pressure is lower. They're feeling more relaxed. They're feeling like every day today, I'm using the exact quote of one of my clients. You taught us a while back, and I finally got it. I'm doing the best I ever did in my whole life, in my business, in my career. And she's working in, I think, the medical arena, medical industry. She's saying, I feel as though even though I'm dealing with people sick and dying and this and that, it's like a vacation all the time. And it's only because I simply took that idea of relaxing and getting the energy to go down your spinal column to your tail to, enrich your experience to the now. And then they applied it when they're working. They apply it when they're dating. They apply it when they're on vacation with their children. And it changes everything. So I like to take my background, since I'm no longer in the science field, I like to still take it and apply because it's there for a reason. And a lot of this computer exists. We're talking because of science. So it's all about business for me now. So it's just applying it. Did I lose anybody there? I
don't know. It's just you mentioned that you talked about like having to be able to step out of your business and whatnot. Because on Friday on our show, Christine Rose, her topic was why every CEO needs to take a vacation.
Yes.
Yes. And it's that same kind of thing. And here's more focus around too, proving the company can work without the owner, because that increases the value. But also you're more effective when you take vacation.
Yes.
Yeah. Those who have watched before, I'm sure have heard the story of your client who makes beer, which you mentioned a number of times.
Absolutely.
If he doesn't make beer, he doesn't make money. And if he makes beer, he makes money.
And what I've learned, here's the last part of it. This is very important. And Kevin kind of alluded again to it. I learned something long ago that I don't see it practiced a lot, even with my friends in their prestigious jobs in the research centers. It's called the scientific method. If you don't know what the scientific method is, if they never taught you in middle school, high school, or college, if you're gone, or if you've forgotten, let me make this clear. Scientific method is a way of taking up observation of something, testing what you're observing, measuring what you're observing, seeing if you can repeat it, then, making inferences, making some small working models or ideas, mental models of how this works, maybe, It could turn into a theory if you can validate and prove it, and then maybe even turn into a fact if you can validate the theory. So that's just how it starts off, the scientific method. The scientific method is so simple to be used in business that nobody uses it in business except for the clients I've taught. Once they apply the scientific method in business, doesn't matter what your services are selling, product, it changes everything. Now, we're mindset coaches, so the scientific method is perfect for this, and this is how I mean that. When I go to a CEO of a company or an owner or president, they come across as, okay, we're going to need you to, you calling and hiring me to get you guys to the next level of whatever that level is, past the glass ceiling that you can't seem to get by, that you created. It's a mindset that created that. Now we got to create another mindset to get you past it and get you, if the company is trying to get to 7-figure, never made it, or 8 figures, or a single individual person or entrepreneurs trying to get to 6 figures, whatever, 6, 7, 8, whatever. The mindset has to be changed. And so I simply say to them, okay, here it comes. First part of the mindset is it's either you've done everything left or right. That's how the physical brain thinks of problems. It's in digital. It's not analog. It remembers in analog, but it thinks in digital, which is weird, not important right now. So I've done this. I've done that. I don't know what else to do. Tell me, coach. Show me. So I said, okay, I'm going to show you to show yourself, because only your experience, not my teaching, is going to show you. So I said, you've done A, you've done B, but you can't figure anything else out. He goes, no. All right, so we're going to get outside your mind. And it sounds very metaphysical or ethereal, but stay with me. I say, okay, now I want you to ask the universe. I know I've tried A and B and nothing's worked, but what's the third alternative? And when some of them look at me like, you want me to ask the universe? I don't care. Ask God, ask whatever you look up towards, your mentor next door. But ask, what is the third alternative? And then shut up. If you ask in earnest, you will get an answer. That's how the quantum field works with brain. That's how your neurons work. They have to process something. They're processing 24/7 from the time you're a zygote to the time you go to your grave, constantly, all the time. It loves to solve problems. And if it can't figure out the problem, it will figure a way to get it outside of itself. And that's been validated. So ask the question. And then, and I teach them how to be patient and how to hear the answer. So, okay, I did A, B. What's the third alternative? And then they'll listen and wait. And then nothing happened in some of my clients. So that's, I got to add another part to it. Because guess what? The ego gets involved. So I said, okay, for you to get an answer, you have to assume you're 100% wrong. That's the true scientific method. Ask for the third alternative, assuming that you're totally wrong. Get a lot of pushbacks. Wait a minute, I got a degree, I got a master's, I got a doctor's degree and all this stuff. What are you talking about? It's just pretending. Did you forget how to pretend? Remember as a child? Pretend. Okay, I'm safe. I can pretend because I'm not really admitting I don't know the answer. And just pretend you don't know the answer and you're 100% wrong and ask that question. They always get an answer. They always get an answer. They follow through on that answer. They take action step towards that answer, and they get to the next level. And then they come back later on. I'm like, I need to get out of my own way. That's how you use a scientific method for business use. It works on all levels. And I haven't found any exception to the rule, except they have to assume that, they are wrong. And many times we come across people that, especially engineers in my field, I've got a lot of schooling. How could I be wrong? Said, yeah, a mechanic on a car's got a lot of schooling too. It doesn't mean that they can do brain surgery, or get to the moon. So once they use the scientific method, now the universe opens up for them. And then they're testing every great invention, novelty, revolutionary invention of the past came from that very basic scientific method. And most people, and I've talked to my scientific friends, and they still to this day tell me they don't remember the scientific method, even though that's what they use unconsciously all the time. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that.
For those who don't remember, that's from the Wikipedia page of scientific method.
Thank you. That's perfect.
Yep.
Yes. And I guess my friends, they actually know it. It's just doing it in the sleep so much they just don't consciously remember it. But I have to teach my clients and my students, this is the key to the universe. You do this, then God talks to you. You do this, and the universe opens up to you. You do this, and you're in a line with what I told some of my students, the Akashic records, the ether, the sovereignty of the universe, God, the superconscious, whatever. I don't care, it rose by any other name. But this is a simple key for the average man and woman to do it. And again, not just for business. Try it in anything. Try it in every aspect of your life's grid. And then please call me and tell me how it helped you. Because I've had people, ministers, priests, rabbis come to me as clients, and I would teach them the scientific method. And they come back saying, God spoke to me. So then it works across the academia, works in spiritualism and religions, politics. It doesn't have anything to do with your background or your knowledge or your upbringing. It's a simple method of getting in tune with something more than just what you have in your physical brain, and then taking immediate action on it. And that's the trick. You can get the answer, but if you're not taking action on it, well, that's why I'm a coach. I'm going to hold you accountable to take action.
I'm so glad you said that, because you have to realize when you talk about the scientific method, I'm glad that you gave that illustration first and foremost, Michael, because it was a good way of looking at that. And I know many times when we talk about different ideologies, theories, and things of that nature, sometimes we need to realize, especially with my clients, senior executives and things of that nature, they don't take time to reflect on certain things.
Sure.
They don't take time to reflect on what happened in their lives. And sometimes when you talk about the scientific method, there's three things you must remember. You must not only learn, but you must unlearn some things.
That's right.
And then relearn new
That's right.
things. And once you learn, unlearn, and relearn things, guess what? You have a new awareness.
Of course.
And you start remembering, what are your strengths? Where are your weaknesses? What are those things about yourself? What are those interests that you want to get involved in within your career? How you want to grow yourself within your career? And I see that so many times with senior executives and things like that I coach, and business owners that I coach, politicians that I coach, where they have these new awarenesses and they have to learn, unlearn, and relearn different things. But the one pivotal thing that they do, even with the awareness, they need to also think about and reflect on the things that they have done.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like to get many times I have with my clients. Give them that time. I ask them, not only through our coaching process, but I get them to think about, let's reflect on that. Think deeply about what you have done and where you want to be. Begin to envision where you see yourself.
That's right.
When you talk about, I love when you said the glass ceiling. When you see yourself shattering that glass ceiling,
that's right.
Where you're going. And don't just think about where you're going and having that vision about where you're going, but how far can you go? Because
Kevin,
when you brought up how far you can go and how you can stretch yourself and take yourself to boundless imaginations and things of that nature, that's when you can start putting the pieces in place for you to attain what you really want. Right. You not only see it, believe it, but you begin to seize it.
That's right.
And it all is within you how you can do that. It's all the power of the mind.
Kevin, you said before, and I want to add to it because it was brilliant. You said about holding the mirror up to them. I've actually used the scientific method to one person who I held the mirror up. And during the seminar, I literally held the mirror up to them. It's amazing how they don't want to look at the eyes of the person in the mirror who happens to be them. It's like they're so they don't believe in themselves, they're low self-esteem. They're like, I finally say, I want you to assume that you're 100% wrong about your opinion and judgment about that person in the mirror. And if you assume that you're 100% wrong, what is the answer you're getting from the universe, from God? For what is it? And then all of a sudden, when they're like, what if I'm wrong about that person in the mirror? All of a sudden, they look straight at the mirror like, that person's really not bad at all. In fact, that's an amazing person. I said, I know, and you're looking straight in his eye, her eyes. Same thing.
Angelus, I love that you said it because I know with I just had to do a training this week actually where I was talking about having a positive mindset and things of that nature. And within that training, when I talk about having a positive mindset amid and beyond the pandemic, what I talk about is one section that I really start talking about not only how do you see yourself, but what do you see yourself as, and where do you see yourself going. And in that whole training, that one aspect of it, there's one section in that training where I asked them to really speak life to themselves. Right there, right there.
There you go.
What you say to yourself and what you believe in yourself. Because so many times, I never forget my daughter. I have a daughter, and we live in a pretty nice house and everything like that. We've been here for about 17 years. But about 3 years ago, she came up to me. She said, Dad, I can't get in my room. I can't get in my door won't open. I'm like, what's going on? So she was in her room, but she couldn't get in her closet door. And I don't go in my girl's room. They a little old for me to be going up in their room. So I get in the room and I'm telling you, I'm a big guy. You can see I'm a nice sized guy. I'm strong too. I grab the door and I'm pulling, and I can't get the door open. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The thing that caught me the most wasn't the fact that the door was locked and I couldn't move it. The thing that caught me the most was when I looked at the door itself. And on her door, she had Post-its all over her door. And all her Post-its had things like, I'm going to PR in track. Means I'm going to get a personal record. I'm going to score straight A's in class. I'm going to pass this assignment. I'm going to graduate and go to college. I mean, she had all these various different things that she had already implanted in herself by having that vision for where she wanted to see herself go.
She had a great mentor.
And by her doing that, and I don't take credit because it's not about me, it's about what comes through me.
Right. True.
You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing. You talk about scientific method. That's what comes through me.
That's right.
And the key about it is by her having those different Post-its on her wall, on her door, it really inspired me and gave me the inner fortitude and inner strength to get that door open because I was so excited. I was ready.
The teacher becomes a student. That's excellent.
So it's strictly important for us to always remember that not only just learn, unlearn, relearn, and understand the scientific method, but understand where do you fall into play.
That's right.
What are you thinking about? What are those goals, those aspirations, those dreams, that success that you want to see?
Exactly.
What are you doing to attain that? Because we have to realize, ladies and gentlemen, success happens to you, but significance happens through you.
Nicely said.
Who are you pouring into? Who are you building up? Who are you mentoring? Who are you growing to be the best they can be? Now, you hear Angelus, Michael, and myself, we're pouring into people each and every day. We're always trying to find a way to give of ourselves to help people. Of course, we're businessmen. Of course, we're doing things to, make money. But at the same time, it's really about what's in our heart.
Yes.
The value that we give people.
Exactly.
And when we give you value, we want to see the best for you, whether it's coaching, training, mentoring, facilitation, whatever it takes, that's what we want to give you.
100% with you, brother.
Great. This has been an awesome show. This has been great. And I was looking at the schedule. I realized that, Kevin, we have you back again next Tuesday.
Okay. I'll be back.
So if you like watching Kevin, he's going to be there this weekend. And Angelus and me will be there too. And 44 others. But Kevin, who has been, I think he's the hook. Kevin's going to be here at Conference 21 this weekend. And for only $21, you get 47 speakers plus networking. And I always like to point this out because probably everyone has been to a webinar type conference or a Zoom conference where it's just a bunch of people talking at you. This is a whole different thing. This is something where you really get to engage, connect with people, have some back and forth conversation. And I actually just ran the District Toastmasters Conference on the same platform that we do the Conference 21 on. And at the end of the day, I said to everyone who's there, and almost everyone was still there because that's the kind of conference you go to, for the whole day. And I said, you guys realize you've been here for 8.5 hours on the computer, right? And everyone's like, wait, what? No, that can't be. I'm like, nope, look at your clock. You've been online for 8.5 hours. They're like, no, I don't feel like I've been online for 8.5 hours. I feel good. Yeah, I don't feel like my eyes are falling out. That's the platform we use. I can't claim credit for it, except that I found it. It's a great platform. But that's the experience of Conference 21. By the end of the day, you're like, I've learned stuff. I've met people. I feel good, like you're at a real conference, except you don't feel poor because you didn't have to fly there and you didn't have to pay for hotel food.
No debt.
Well, if you want to learn about resilient leadership amid and beyond the pandemic, come to my seminar. Because we'll be talking about that. And not only will we be talking about that, but we'll be communicating together. Yes. I'm not just going to be a talking head. I'm not a talking head. What I am is I'm someone that want to bring the best out of you through facilitation, training. We want to make sure that you're able to have a voice within that conversation too. And then that dialogue, that's where we see the synergy.
Mm-hmm.
We get the golden nuggets.
That's what's all about there.
For each other to be the best we all can be.
Awesome.
Come to Conference 21 if you really want to get your money's worth. It's no other place I know that you can talk to so many and have a nice dialogue and conversation and get really professional sharing feedback right there on the spot on any question you might have instead of just listening at a seminar or a training. So come, you're not going to be disappointed. There's somebody there for everybody. And I'm looking forward to when I'm done to listen to the other and talk to the other talk.
Yep. Yeah. And anyone who does the math will realize I can't watch 47 talks in one weekend. No, you cannot, because there's only 8 speaking slots, but they're all recorded. So the ones you don't make it to, you get access to all the recordings, and you even get access to most of the February recordings too. So it's about 70 hours of content that you get with your $21 ticket, because if there's one thing I don't know how to do, it's proper monetization. So take advantage of my bad business skills and get this really good deal at conference21.com. It's been great to have both of you on here. This is awesome. This is why I love doing the weekly roundtable. As I always say, I am a different person than I was last November when I started Conference 21, because surrounding myself with these kinds of people, spending an hour, 2 hours a week, sometimes more, with these kinds of folks, you cannot help but just get better. So it's been fantastic. Well, I look forward to seeing you both this weekend, and hopefully seeing you this weekend as well. And I'm actually going to share this. We'll see if anyone gets this far in the video. I'm going to share this. I'm in a coach training program, and what Kevin was talking about, explaining what coaching is very similar to what our trainer explained as well. And I think a lot of the other students would be like, oh, that's really good to know. Or they'll just send this video to them because I can't explain it, but listen to this guy. He'll explain it to you.
Kevin says it with passion.
He does.
Hey, that's real. That's real. You know, I love what I do. I mean, I'm passionate about what I do. So, and when you hear that, you hear that's something coming through me, that passion.
Yep.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's my purpose, to pour into individuals in that way. So when it's really authentic and it's really true what I say, everything I say, and how I say it.
Yeah. Well, it's been great to have both the show, and it is 8 o'clock, so I'm going to wrap it up. But thank you everyone for watching, and thanks for being on. And